The container was filled with stowaways, but when customs checked, it was completely empty. The sheriff knew the container must have been modified, so he called one of his men to go to the bottom of the container while he himself stood outside. Then, he ordered his subordinate to fire a shot. The position of the bullet holes revealed everything instantly. He returned to the container and issued a warning. Come out now, or he'd order a sweep of bullets. But the stowaways knew that whether they came out or not, death was inevitable. Mia noticed extra space above the wooden crates and climbed up. When the impatient sheriff was about to give an order, the iron door suddenly opened, revealing no surprises. The sheriff ended the young girl's life with a single shot and ordered the cleanup to begin. Bullets pierced through the metal plate and into the compartment, and everyone inside was instantly riddled with holes. Mia held her hands tightly over her mouth, afraid of making the slightest sound. Even the lucky surviving children could not escape the sound of gunfire. When the sheriff and his men left, she tremblingly took out her phone and sent a voice message to her husband, urging him to hide somewhere quickly or risk being shot. Initially, Mia and her husband had been in the same container. Unexpectedly, midway through, the smuggler leader reopened the container door, and more stowaways stormed inside. Amid this turmoil, the smuggler leader forcibly moved Nick into another container, forever parting the couple. Mia was now left in the container alone, marking the start of her harrowing journey for survival. She had no way of knowing if her husband was alive or dead. All she could do was leave it to fate, though fate seemed to have abandoned her. That same night, a violent storm erupted, causing the ship to sway dangerously on the open sea. To stabilize the ship, the captain ordered some containers to be jettisoned, and Mia's was among them. By dawn, sunlight filled the sky, and she realized the entire container had flipped 180 degrees. Peeking through the bullet holes, she saw endless ocean surrounding her. When she tried reaching her husband, she found her phone's screen shattered. Digging out her backup phone, she struggled to recall its password. Adding to her horror, there had been no signs of life from the baby in her womb for hours. As seawater began to seep inside, she opened a wooden crate, discovering it filled with preserved food containers. Another crate contained athletic jackets, and yet another held flat-screen TVs, but there was no food or drinkable water. She used duct tape to seal the leaks when suddenly, a heart-wrenching shout came from outside. Looking out, she discovered it was Nick's container number 107, which was rapidly sinking. Before long, it disappeared beneath the surface of the ocean. In utter despair, she took out a knife to end her life and follow her husband to death. But then, the baby suddenly kicked her from inside the womb. Mia abandoned the idea of suicide. She couldn't bear to let the baby die with her. The next day, she began her struggle for survival. Her first priority was finding food. She opened the last crate, hoping for a pleasant surprise. But the director wasn't so kind. It was yet another box of food storage containers. She cursed the director and the scriptwriter, but used the sealing strips from the boxes to help block the leaks. Then she found a piece of tubing and quickly solved the issues of leaks